Yes. Good evening, everyone. Today, we Nightingale Circle of National Child Development Council is going to coordinate a free webinar. Yes, a free webinar on clearing mind and setting smart goals. Myself, Rahima Rahim, faculty at National Child Development Council, and with me, Girija Peter, yes, circle coordinator and faculty at National Child Development Council. So here, yes, we are having a special guest here. That is our Sujata Suresh ma'am. So yes, she is the co-founder of and business trainer of Pravara Management Consultants. So here I welcome Ms. Sujata Suresh ma'am to handle the session, ma'am. And once again, I welcome everyone, those who are present here and those who are watching the live free webinar program. So welcome everyone to this wonderful webinar session. Yes, welcome Sujata ma'am.
Thank you so much, dear. Good afternoon and, to everybody. And this is going global, is it, Rahima? It's going global. All right, yes. Then it will be good afternoon and good evening and good morning in different timings of the world. So it's a green afternoon, green evening and green morning. That's what we say globally. So this is a very interesting option for us, given to us. It has been that we are in the beginning of 2022, we are looking at goals. Goal setting is such a beautiful experience. But why is it painful? Have you come across this constantly with people saying that, oh, I set my New Year resolution. Day 2, I broke it. Day 5, I lost it. Day 7, I got irritated. Day 10, I gave it up. You know what? This whole thing is just trash. And then we struggle through the year. And then again, towards the end, we think, next year I'm going to make it even more big. Do you resonate with me on this? If you're comfortable in typing a yes in the chat box, you can type it, and I shall take it from there. I would like you all to know that, then what is the difference in this goal setting? Thank you so much, Abhishek ji. Thank you so much. Now, what is it that I can make a difference? How can I really achieve the goals? And what is this goal setting that some become very successful? And much as I try, I'm not able to reach anywhere. Today, I asked my partner at work and partner in life, Suresh ji, to join me in the first most important aspect of the program. And that is clearing the mind. When I look at the Montessori way, it is about respecting the child is different, even from the parents. And so how can we encourage to bring out the learning for the child experientially and make it so enjoyable for the child? I welcome Sureshji to walk us through this. And are you all ready? Clearing your mind? We'll clear the mind as a process.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And then we'll see how does this make a difference for us before we look at goal setting. Over to you, Sue.
Yes. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Sujata, and hello, everyone. So, how many of you use computers, personal computers? If you use computers, would you type me in the chat box? Thank you so much. And how many of you have heard of Gautama the Buddha? You have. Thank you, Sirija. So, what is the connection between a computer and Gautama Buddha and clearing the mind? If you are interested in knowing, would you please type me in the chat box? Thank you. It's nice to have such a responsive audience. So, when you start your computer, you would have noticed that the response is very fast. Is the audio clear? Is there some echo or something? Is my audio clear? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. Thank you. So when you start your computer, you would have noticed that the response is quite fast. And then you started a Word document. Maybe you switched on your mail. and then maybe an Excel sheet, and very quickly you found that the response started going down. Then what did you do? What do you do when your response of the computer goes down? Can I have somebody respond on that in the chat box? Or on voice? What do you do when your personal computer starts going slow? So
We
you
are asking everyone
Yes,
the reason like that.
What would you do?
Hi, Suresh sir. My name's Abhishek.
Yes, Abhishek.
Can I give an answer?
Please.
I would probably get annoyed and I would leave it, I would leave it aside until like it starts bringing it up again. My laptop's pretty slow, so it takes time to wake up. But until then, I would keep it aside. Like I would slow myself also down at the same time.
Okay, that's not bad for a balance of life. But if you have some urgent thing that you have to do, then what would you do?
If it's slow, I would go according to how the computer is going. I wouldn't have a choice here. I mean, if it's slow.
What I would do, and probably what others do, is you go to the control panel, see what are all the sessions that are there at the background, running in the background, and close the ones that are not necessary.
Oh, yes, that's there.
And then what happens when you close the unnecessary sessions which were there in the background, you will notice then that the response is back to what it was earlier. Is this your experience as well?
Yes, sir, it is. Even phones or anything, if it slows down, I would close every app and then it boosts up.
Right. So so thank you for that response, Abhishek, and for the others as well. So when the computer starts slowing down, you close what are all the sessions that are going in the background. Similarly, we may not be aware of it, but when we start working, there are many things going on in the back of our mind. When we came to the office, something may have happened on the way while driving. Somebody may have, irritated us. Somebody may not have behaved the way they should. Maybe the breakfast was late, whatever. So when you come and sat down at your desk, there's already some element of irritation going on in the background. Maybe there is some urgent report that you were supposed to submit and it's not yet ready. So without our knowledge, there are many background processes that are going on. So to clear the mind, we have to become aware of what's really going on at the moment and take out or remove consciously all the things that are not required for the current moment. Is that making sense? Okay, I take it as a yes. Thank you. So one day, now coming to Gautama the Buddha. So one day Gautama was traveling with his disciples and it was very hot. And they came across a stream. And there was a lot of traffic on that road and a couple of bullock carts were crossing the stream. So Gautama told his disciple, look, I'm a bit thirsty, go and get some water. So the disciple went, took his bowl, got some water. And then Gautama said, look, it's muddy. Can you go and get clearer water? So the disciple goes back and again brings in water and then finds that the water is still muddy. So then Gautama tells him, wait for the water to settle down and then bring it. So after the water has settled down, the disciple brings water from the top and then it's very clear and ready to be drunk. So Gautama then tells him, your mind is like this. If it is muddied, if there are too many thoughts going on, allow it to settle down and then the clarity will come in. So this is one way. These are two ways that we can actually use to clear the mind. Thank you. I hope that was interesting for you all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So thank you, Steve. Thank you, Sue. Please be with us through this because shall we all go through a short experience with Suresh sir, who will walk us through clearing our mind before we set on the goals? I would like to share the agenda for today's session. All right. And so please be with me for a moment. I'll just get that going.
Right.
Rahima, you can share the first slide here.
Yeah, I need to share. Okay, ma'am. This one, no, ma'am.
Thank you so much, dear. So we are going to the slide on the agenda, dear. So welcome to the program, all of you. We're going in for something very important and significant. The next slide, dear. Yeah. In today's agenda, what we'll be looking at is I set the context as to how is it so important to set the mind, to clear the mind. All of you who have joined us today, and for those of you who are seeing this program live, I would like you to know that given this chance and this opportunity, having you all and enthusiastic Abhishek who's taken the lead in giving the audio speaking to us connected by audio, to each of you, we are inspired that you have decided to take a change for yourself. Goal setting, we find, is actually a very interesting way of making sure that we achieve our goals. But mostly it has turned out that it is counterproductive. For this, we have noticed that it is important to personalize the goals for oneself properly. Towards that, we're doing the first part of it, which is clearing the mind. Sureshji, would you like to walk us through the clearing the mind?
Okay, thank you.
Over to Sureshji. Rahima, we can go to the next slide here. And over to Suresh, sir.
So all of you, what has been your experience today till the moment that you actually came into this program? Has it been wonderful? Did some very eventful thing happen, or did some not so good thing happen? Something upset your mind? Anything like that? Can I have some responses in the chat box, please?
All can use your chat box, okay? Please type those.
Did anything significant happen to you today? Either good or bad? All right. So while it appears that nothing really significant happened today, I'm sure that at the background of your mind, there may be some things about some things that you have to achieve, good moments. Thank you, Rahanaji. So there's certain work that has been allotted, which is yet to be done. Maybe while the food that you ate today, maybe it was wonderful, or it may not have been up to the mark. So at this moment, can we set aside all these things which are going on at the background and let our minds focus fully only on this program? So we take a conscious decision that for the duration of this program, I will consciously focus only on what's going on here and not allow other thoughts to come. If other thoughts come in, then I will gently push it aside and come back to focus here. So this is something that's called clearing the mind. And this generally what I do is before I start my day, I just take a moment to check how the body is. Is there any tension in my neck? Is there any tension in my spine? Then I take a deep breath and allow it to go. Then I think about what are the things that I maybe that are going on in my mind, and for the duration of whatever I want to do, I set them aside. So this is a small process that you can do to clear the mind before you actually get into whatever you have set up for the day. Do you think this was useful for you? Okay. Yes, then please type yes. Thank you. Or you can talk it out.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, you get a yes from Abhishek. That's really very nice.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Yes. So, this is something. Now, we find that both can be two instances, both the instances can be distracting. What are these both instances? Had a very good time in the morning can really make me forget what was the next important work I had to do. If it is too good also, it is a challenge. If I'm too drowsy also, it's a challenge. If I'm too upset also, it's a challenge. So what it shares is this clearing the mind is saying that all things before I get into any day itself, like Suresh is saying that he would like to do this on a daily basis. You see, before you decide your goals for the year, for the month, for your career, you can just make sure what is it that can help you to set the goals. I would suggest that clearing the mind even while you're setting the goals itself. Because we'll move on to the next slide here. I like to just explain a little bit over there. Yes, thank you so much, Rahima ji. See, when we're looking at National Child Development Council, they're following the Montessori way. And it is that children are respected, that they are different from their parents and they are individuals. And the child has an unusual sensitivity and intellectual ability to absorb and learn from his environment. And see that the next part is even more interesting, that the child's early years, when there's unconscious learning, is gradually brought to the conscious level. If we adhere to this, by clearing, we are taking away our sense of judgment of self and others. By clearing the mind, we are also shaking ourselves of something very important, others' expectations about us. You should be doing that. You should be doing this. You know what? You're slow. You know what? You're not responsible, etc., etc., etc. 24 hours, someone or the other is always bashing someone else. They are expecting something from us as a result. But you know what they are doing? They're not giving us the space to be the way we can be. And this is why I have taken this from the Montessori principles. The child has a deep love and need for purposeful work. All of us have that. He works, however, not from an adult way of completion of a job, but rather for the sake of the activity itself. Now, can you, when you're setting your goals, can you create it in such a way that the environment is very supportive for your development? You will see your goals every day make you blossom much more because it is matching to your urge of doing something. You're setting your inner environment right by clearing the mind. Outside world, we don't know how to change. And everyone has their own quirks, their own way of doing things, their own expectations, and their own challenges. Now, once we give a moment of our life outside that way, our achieving what could be our potential best gets diluted each time, coming under the pressure of trying to meet someone's expectations. So the goal setting, even if it is a simple thing, I come across this constantly, people saying, Sujata, I set my goals. I'm going to lose 10 kgs within the first month. Third day, fourth day, they are having to give up because they have thought that they have set smart goals. But what they have done is made it unachievable for self. So before I go into the SMART goals, I want you all to make this as an enjoyable process. Are we ready to make this as an enjoyable process? 2022, can we enjoy our goals? Set them well, achieve it, and make it even more achievable? That's what we are working towards. I like the smile from Abhishek. It's encouraging me now. See, right environment set for me. So we'll move on to the next slide. Rahima, can I request, ma'am? Girija ma'am, I don't know who's handling it. I'm sorry.
Yes, Rahima ma'am only handling.
All right.
Yeah.
This is a very important slide. Why goals motivate is because they have been made enjoyable for the child. And all of us have a child within us. If you can make it motivating you, if you can set your goals as being very meaningful, not that I have to achieve this, I have to win that, I have to win over them, I have to control her, I have to control him. When all this is actually, in our mind, it is a goal, but it is actually hurting the other person or it's distancing us from the others. So setting the goals, the Montessori way, that's what I put it for us today, is that we make it so easy that we make it motivating us, energizing us. It is actually, in such a way that it provides us challenge. And also we feel that, it gives us direction. I'll come to each of these points. It will also make me think, outside the box, especially in COVID times. Imagine So many people have tried so many ways, nothing worked. COVID has come and put us all in lockdown in various stages in different states and different parts of the world. All right. Suddenly it has brought such a change. All right. And now we are having to think out of the box, and we also don't give up. We are enjoying connecting virtually, and we are able to reach out to different locations effortlessly. Now, this is what I call thinking out of the box. That we are not stopped because of some restriction. We are able to think beyond that. This is a mental stretch. So when you take goals, there should be a mental stretch, an emotional stretch, stretch in such a way that we reach out to something higher. And when we reach out to that higher, something within us, an alchemy comes up, and we find that we are able to achieve a lot more than what we thought of. Just not the target and the number, we might have gained something even more. And that joy in the face is actually continuing for a longer period of the year. And especially through COVID times, it's important and it's so beautiful to see cheerful faces. It is naturally motivating. Now we shall move on to the SMART goals. We look at SMART as SMART, that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Before I proceed further, it will be good if you all can type in you're a student or you're a career person, whatever you all are doing as your, so that I can give you relevant examples. I would like to just move on. If you all can share, it will be wonderful. Should I give the examples from career point, from student point? From student point, that's wonderful. So I shall take some examples from personal life and professional life and student life. That way, I think I'll be able to meet all the expectations. So what can be specific? All right. Now you find that I'll start from student perspective. All right. Maybe it is the graduate, postgraduate courses, and it's not that all the parts of the curriculum resonates with us. It is possible that some part of it resonates with us, some part of it doesn't resonate with us. Thank you so much, dear. Rehanna is a nurse. I'm very grateful that you have shared this, dear. All right. And so what we'll do is I'll give the example of nursing itself, dear. And yes, and housewife too. Ta-da! I'm having one more person in this line. That will be Salisha. Thank you so much, dear. So coming back to the student part of it, you'll find that now I'm a psychometric person. We as a career coach, we use psychometric assessments, and then we give guidance to people. I'm going to take one angle of it, which is the multiple intelligence. Now you'll find that some of us are linguistic, some of us have interpersonal skills which are very high. Now, those of us who have higher interpersonal skills, what we tend to do is that we like to talk to people through conversation. All right. I find my Girija ma'am, my Rahima, they are, and I think Abhishek too, you are people who love listening to people and you process the information very easily. So subjects, curriculum part, which is not very easily attainable for us or readable for us. This part, can you set it as a conversation with 2 friends or 3 friends, divide the portion, and now you find that the whole lesson is crunched in half an hour. You'll find that give each other just 5 minutes, make it time bound, and then now you say that we'll all share what we learned from that. You make the whole learning process very enjoyable. And when you're listening to each other, the perspective becomes even more, it becomes more in-depth. It's not just the text of it. It is not the facts of it alone. It is the reach of it. Now here you'll find that you'll be able to perceive even higher values. What do I mean by perception over here? When I am, say, at this level, I have a desk. When I'm looking at it at the same as my eye level, I'm just watching what is on top of it. If I stand on my toes, I can see something on top of the table above it, from and above. But if I move on a stool, stand on a stool and I look down, I get an overview. Dear friends who are studying, please understand your studies is going to be nourishing so many others because of the way you studied. So your overview should be over here that you grasp the knowledge from a perspective how to apply, what is the benefit. Now you'll never forget that part of it. When I had to do this clearing the mind, I actually dragged Sureshji here. I said, please join us. He was in the midst of something else. He said, what? I said, please join us. There are some important people coming on over here, and I would like the clearance of the mind happening the way you do it. And then, because he does it on a daily basis, it was not difficult for him. In fact, what he did was he set himself right, and then, he loved the idea. He said, wow, this is so nice. So it may be sudden that your knowledge is called upon, but that is the beauty of it, that you are able to achieve it without any stress. And what comes natural to you is what you're sharing. So when we are looking at specific, you look at what is specific of it, what is flexible about it, how you bring it is also flexible about it. This is the Montessori way. So you can make your subject very enjoyable. Nowadays, you have the second idea for the learning people. I'm a lifelong learner. Okay, I find that when I connect with people on forums in LinkedIn, I have similar mindset with people, and it becomes so much easy that the same knowledge I gain from different aspects of the world. Today, COVID times, we are seeing that every learning is actually becoming global. So it has stopped becoming local vis-a-vis global. It has become what? It has become global. Globally also everyone is concerned on the same aspects. So now when you look at it, look at specifically what areas do you want to study in. You ask the questions from others. Don't just get only a theory of it. You set aside at least my take is that at least 1 hour in a week, you should be engaging in learning from others. Subject related. Now you find that you'll be able to learn much more faster. Two is that you're almost becoming a global citizen. That is, you're able to engage in a conversation with a lot of focus and attention in topics that are needed for the global reason. Every global citizen will be able to, because you're in forums, you're discussing, and you're in discussions, your learning becomes meaningful and useful across the globe. That is what I mean by specific. Please adhere to your the questionnaire pattern. When we are looking at this, where you'll gain marks, now you have to be a little smart over here. Multiple choice questions, there's no great difference that you can bring in from your way of articulation. But open-ended questions, you will gain multiple fold because of the forums. Memory gets stabilized in many ways just because you're engaged in discussions with other people. Now, this is how you can set your specific. Specific to the topic, specific to the curriculum as a student, and specific to the types of questionnaire that is going to come up for you in your exam. Keeping all those in perspective. I said no, table level, a little above table level, and as an overview. I'm sharing all these three perspectives. Moving on to my dear Salisha. who is also a homemaker and a student. Now comes a huge challenge. It moves into time management. There is a
Yes,
demand. Yes, there is a demand on time and there is a desire to do something. Mind is becoming creative like that when suddenly the cooker sound comes. Or someone says, food is not yet ready. Then you feel, oh my God, what to do?
Yes, ma'am. Also, kids are there. They will always uh, disturb us as, oh, mama, oh, that is okay. Like
Yes.
this.
If it is of any consideration, if it will console you, dear, I'm mama of three. Okay. And so if a dinosaur like me can be surviving this, you will do fabulously well. You believe me. That's my wishing and
Okay, ma'am.
blessing for you on 2022. But,
Okay, ma'am.
but coming to the time management, can you hold this? Suresh does it very well. And this is not the scope of this program, but I would request maybe one program where he does. He talks of your biorhythms. He says that when check which part of the day your energy levels are very high. It could be early morning hours. I know a lady who works 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning. All the groups where she's doing any social service, she will make sure that those group answers she has given it between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning. Then each one can take on as their time permits. Office work, she does between 8 a.m. and 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. All right. She's given a gap of 1 hour between her personal time, between her social service and personal time, and then moved on to this office timing. Now, she's done this purposely because she needs some time for freshening up, doing some work, etc. 7 to 8, she takes up office work related. She's a director in the HR. So, she has a lot of things to hand over to delegate to people that she does between 7 to 8 a.m. Before their day starts, and it's not an unearthly hour to get a message from their senior, she makes them notes and sends them across. Then, being HR, constantly she is clouded from morning 9 a.m. till 1 p.m., 2 p.m. in the afternoon. There is a lot of firefighting that keeps happening, and she is ready for that. So when you have children, you're working from home, what you should see is what is that 1 hour where you can achieve the best possible. It has been observed because of the biological way of giving birth to your children. Oh, yes, say hi to the little one there. Okay. And
Hi. Hi.
hi. Hi. So you give the child, include the child. The child learns by different ways. Now, what we do is we keep our learning and our work that time when the child is relaxed, their food is fed, they're taken care of. This is one famous sentence of Suresh. He'll say, if you have a crying baby, you have to first settle that. And another thing as a mother, what I noticed is that I keep these nutritious kind of foods and knickknacks and drawing paper or some art paper for the children. So you give them some of that work and you find that studying together becomes a very enjoyable process. These are some ways, dear. And I thank you so much for looking into that aspect. I'm very proud of you, dear, and your little one, that you're willing to learn along with your child. And this is so beautiful.
Mama.
Thank you. Moving on, I would like to look at, this is being specific from a personal perspective. That is, be specific about the hour, how you time your work. Okay? Specific is something which people think that making it only losing 10 kgs in 1 month or achieving 200 pages in a day or achieving whatever work. But don't keep it only task oriented. Make it very motivating for yourself. You'll achieve the same work in different ways. We make it measurable. If you don't make it measurable, we'll never reach it anywhere. Every time it is an overreach. I'm sorry, I have one more example to give to my friend Rihanna, who's a nurse who's preparing for her prometric. Nurse work I have done a lot of work for the hospitals at the global level, and I find the nurse work is something which I have to do a namaste for. Because a nurse, the way they achieve, the way they are there for everyone, the first thing they do is saying that my time is not my time is your time for every patient. And this is very heartening. So for them, what they can do in the specific is that keep it specific for the, we have, every time we have an audit, what we should be doing for the participant, for the patient, work related. Keep it very specific, keep it meticulously clean. That is, if the work area has to be clean, has the check been done for the patients, have even the bed sheets, the towels, the etc., the sanitizers, everything for the patient room, has that been organized. Keeping it ahead makes you less stressed. For example, the bed sheets have to be changed, or this is a patient who's having nausea. Then we keep the paper bags and everything ahead ready. Pre-preparing can help the nurse to be very specific. A. B, for specific for a nurse, is when the doctor comes and walks in, they suddenly ask data and all that. Now you find that the nurse generally gets flustered. What all they are asking? Don't get stressed out. You prepare, how will you give the answer for your doctor in the quickest possible way? We have seen that in 30 seconds, a nurse can give the update to the doctor. In setting aside, like clearing the mind, we keep aside emotions, we keep aside other challenges that the nurse may be going through, and keep it very specific to the requirement of the doctor. Because the doctor is based his medication totally on the data given by the nurse. The patient went like this many times, this happened, and this was the medication given. Night, this patient slept well. No, the patient was restless. These are specific. We don't put emotions over there. We give them the information that is needed. This is something we develop for ourselves, dear participants. For today's session, I would like you to know this is where I'm taking you to the global level. That whichever job you take, you look at it from different perspectives. All right. When I said table level, this is my inner core level. When I said just a little above the table level, this is my eagerness to grow. When I'm saying looking at it from an overview level, this is where you like to be 15 years from now. That wonderful post where you'll be heading an organization. So I would like you all to look at it from that perspective. And that is a global citizen who's able to look at it without any distinction. And with such clarity, when you all speak like this, you'll find that everyone would love to listen to you a lot more. I have addressed S in great detail. I'm moving on to M. Make it measurable. Please don't think that every day I have to do. I see that Abhishek may be a gym person. Are you a gym person, Abhishek?
Ma'am, not so much, but rarely. I do exercise.
You do exercise.
I'm into sports.
Yes. So if he says that every day I have to do 15 push-ups, 20 push-ups, and if I'm not, then I'm a waste. Why to bring in that negative emotions itself? Today you've done 15 push-ups, you thoroughly enjoy the 15 push-ups. Your body will want to do this 15 push-ups tomorrow again. It is noticed that you must make it measurable for life. Now this is the beauty of life, that every day you add value. Now you find that you can do great achievements because of this. But if you think that he is doing 15 times, I must do 20 times. No, for me, 108 is a lucky number. I will do 108 times. You are trying to live in some other's shoes. Please make it measurable for yourself. Understand that life is much more important. Now, what happens is You're along with your living your life as a student, you're a child for someone, you are friends for someone, you have someone very significant in your life. There are so many other aspects of your life. So some days something goes very well for something, and some days that goes well for some other aspect of your life. That's good. But keep steady that daily you're able to achieve something measurable. It could be that regarding your nutrition. It could be that regarding your going for walks. It could be that your mental well being. It could be that you have helped someone access something. Here I find that this measurable is to be decided by you. Once you decide what are all your priorities in your life, this, my friends, is a separate program by itself. But once you decide what all you want to achieve, in that, what are the key priorities? I have 3 examples I'm taking here. As a student, as a homemaker, as a professional. Just these 3. What are the priorities? If I list down, if you have addressed priority 1, in that you decide which will be priority 1 for each of those roles. Now you find that it becomes very easy. In fact, as a lifelong learner, what I have learned is the moment I learn something, I come and share it with someone. Mostly Sue, my husband. Okay. And many sessions we attend together also. International programs we attend together. Now, when we exchange information, it has already become application for us. And so we find the learning becomes very enjoyable also for us. So measurable it is measurable only if you know the value of it. And so please make it experientially true for yourself and the co-partner in that. Say, for example, you and your friend are both engaging in learning something, then you make it measurable. First lesson, 5 slides you do, 3 slides I do, 2 slides he does, done. Measurable. And together you'll have achieved the whole program. At the home level, measurable is keep it very simple, especially COVID times. Keeping the house clean, hygienic, food, clothes, vessels. Now, everyone distributes, whoever is able to take it. It's not that, oh, I did yesterday, you must do today. See, this all, someone has put some other thought in our head. It is about cohabiting. I like Indra Nooyi, who was, the CEO, as you all are aware of. And she gave this wonderful point. She said, you must cohabit people. Especially if you're a young mother, now you need to cohabit people. This was the beauty of joint family. My request is that you all imbibe that. Because what happens is that together, everyone achieves more. That is TEAM. Now, this measurable, if the basic works are taken care of, you're able to move on to the next level. Set aside your 1 hour or 3 hours or 5 hours that you'll keep exclusively for yourself. And that is the time when you reach out and do more works. Measurable again. So measurable, I'm saying, not just specific to the role. It is specific to the role, to your immediate superior, and to the organization level. Measurable is with respect to people around you. Measurable is also the quantity that you want to crunch. I move on. Let us make it attainable. As I said, we make it attainable. I like to take an example over here. May I? Am I going very fast? Is this okay for all of us?
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
It's perfect.
Great. So, Attainable, this is an organization where the team lead was looking at the call handling abilities of his juniors. They found that one girl was extremely good. She would be able to speak extremely well and give inputs to the people and close where others would struggle to make 20 calls. This girl had the ability to make almost 70 calls. Now, this was amazing. They listened to her each time. Within 3 to 7 minutes, she was able to. I'm talking of this, in mid early 2003, 2004, when, there was no system of measuring all these, no metrics to measure. But what I'm addressing over here is not the ability of the girl. I'm going to share this about the team lead. What the team lead did was, now this girl was getting segregated by everyone as being very good in achieving, and there was a lot of appreciation for her. The team lead was not happy that compliments were just going to her. He didn't see his team becoming effective. So what he did was, he called her and asked her, I'm changing her name. He said, Sangeeta, we're very proud about the way you're achieving. She said, thank you so much, sir. Then he said, I have a request. Supposing you're asked to write down these details. I find that you're taking some time in filling in the details. She said, yes, sir. I'm finding that a bit time consuming. Then he said, supposing someone else does the typing for you, do you think you'd like to continue the conversation in a smooth way? We'll see that the sound of typing does not disturb your conversation. She said, that will be very helpful, sir. And now he did something which was phenomenal and no one expected. There was one girl who's very good in her typing skills. But she would work only on the content preparation and doesn't care a damn what happens to the other person. She would always say, you finished your work or not? Yes or no? Have you sent me the details or not? Yes or no? Her interpersonal skills were needing a lot of attention. So you know what this team leader did? He asked her help, all right? And I'll name her Saroja. He told Saroja, can you please listen to her conversation and type in the answers? Then the work is done immediately. Are you willing to do that? She said, that's wonderful. I will do that. I can do that. I'm okay. Her answers are all very cryptic generally. And also her body language. What happened 15 days later was that Saroja picked up communication skills to enhance interpersonal relationships. And together, from 70 calls, they achieved 200 calls a day. Now you tell me, isn't this a smart way? Making it attainable. Don't put her under, don't put your counterparts, your spouse, your friends, your co-learners into a thing that, where you did all that, you didn't do that. No, can you look at it, the alchemy of making it attainable? What can I do that you can achieve much more? One small conversation with Ms. Rahima, and here I am engaging with all of you. Isn't this phenomenal? Because having a higher perspective, making it attainable. And I found that the way we are all supporting each other, it is seamless. This is the beauty of attainable. We make it as relevant. We move on to R, which is relevant. And sometimes we call it as, realistic also. See, I like the actress Jyotika. I don't know whom all you all like. And definitely I'm not going to ask Abhishek right now. It may be too embarrassing for him. Okay. Now, I like Jyotika. That's nice. It's okay. All right. But can I become Jyotika? No way. And you know something? Even Jyotika can't become me. So when we keep it realistic, let us see that, remember the ultimate reason is that, the core reason is that we must make our goals motivate us. I enjoy Jyotika's acting. I enjoy Rashmika Mandana's acting. I enjoy her gestures. Most enjoyable. I get inspired and I come back to my work. What's my problem? So making it realistic, making it relevant. I don't get dragged into that. And this is the most important aspect of it. Your studies. Generally, we think that, why should you study that? That is not there as a portion in our syllabus. But I have understood that as a global student. All right, you all need to learn it from the sustainability perspective, from the application perspective, from the benefits perspective. Any subject you all are learning. It should be adhering to all these three aspects. It should be sustainable. It should be, globally application oriented. And you must find that this has having many ways of achieving. We should look at it that how can we make it happen? So this relevant is so important, my dear friends, that we make it very realistic and make our learning itself, because you all are the future leaders. Today we are appreciating Mr. Modi, or we are appreciating APJ Kalam, or we are appreciating Tata, Ratan Tata ji, anyone. But they were also youth one day. And that is when they were nourished and their ideas became clear. That's why we said clearing the mind. I see the future in all of you. I see you are the future leaders. Today, I've got the opportunity. And so I move on to the last part of it, which is the time. The only resource which is not renewable, which we can never save, is time. The only way we can do it is utilize it again and again and again. Today we slipped up does not mean that we blame ourselves. Today we missed out is something we realize, what is my learning? If Sureshji was with us now, he would say that, which is the failure which taught you the most? Even your failure can become a very huge learning point. Whether he spoke of Buddha, or whether he spoke of Aurobindo, or with whomever, he spoke of anyone. Those great people looked at even failures as a stepping stone. When Buddha asked someone that please get me some water, the person got water which was muddy. Now, if Buddha had yelled, "You fool, can't you know you brought muddy water and your guru, and can you bring like this?" You're passing a judgment. Clear the mind. What is important? He said, this can become a learning point for the student. And so said, can you go there, wait for the water to settle, and then select the water? When the student came back, all that Buddha said was, this is like the mind. Once it settles, it becomes very clear. The student is in a very graceful mood to receive that learning. Time and utilizing the time, not judging oneself, not judging the people around us, because every time we get stuck in that, someone or the other is incapable according to us. Somewhere or the other, we never met all the demands the loved ones had about us. And this, my friends, is worse, because growth can never happen to any individual. Always you'll see that we are struggling to prove to someone that we are good enough. I come to the last part of it where I'm opening up for question answers, and I'm open for question answers. Before I hand over that, I would like to share that I really thank heartfelt gratitude to NCDC, National Child Development Council. Because of them, I got this opportunity. I'm very grateful for Montessori because of the principle set, this learning of SMART goals, clearing the mind and setting SMART goals has become such a big way of, it's very enjoyable. Now I come to the ER part of it. Are you eager to know what it is? I said smarter. Shall we make it smarter? Wanna know what it is? Okay. E stands for enjoyable. R stands for review. Make it enjoyable, make it reviewable. Review your goals. Don't shy away from them. You looked at it once, you didn't achieve it. Don't feel bad about it. Please go and face it there. Look at that goal again and say, why did I not achieve it? Because you would never have owned it up. You would have felt pressurized to do that. And so, how can you enable yourself to achieve that? There is one sentence, I've always said if Sureshji was here, I will say one sentence according to me. The game is never over till I say it is done. For my goals, I set the timeline. I was a teacher in maths, very passionate in teaching maths to students in maths and physics for school and college students. One turning point in my life, my first mentor, helped me see that I moved beyond being a teacher to becoming a trainer. From a trainer, I moved on to becoming a keynote speaker and a global presenter. I interview people, I look at organizations, I develop people in organizations, in personal life, in student life. I connect with many people, spreading well being for people. I love to see happy families. I love to see that family businesses grow well. I love to see that we're all there to nourish for each other, not to put down each other. Let's drop our limitations. And so I thank NCDC. I thank the team, Ms. Girija Peter and Ms. Rahima, for giving this wonderful opportunity. I wholeheartedly thank each of my participants here who so willingly participated and actively took part. And all those of you who are going to see us, a big thank you. Wishing you the very best. Make it totally enjoyable for yourself. You can keep in touch with us. You can, what shall I say? You can search for Sujata Suresh in LinkedIn and connect with me. Pravara is the name of our firm. Thank you too, Archit. So nice that you had you listened to. Yes, Alicia. Thank you too, dear. So I'm open to questions. You can go ahead and ask me questions.
If you have any queries, you can ask to Mom.
Have you crossed the time? Or is there time, dear, for a question or two? Arshit, do you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. Can I ask a question?
Oh, sure, Abhishek.
Ma'am, actually, I found your entire speech very informative. I mean, I could relate it when I right now I'm actually preparing for an exam and stuff, and then I seem to enjoy it a lot. Like, apart from any competition of getting greater marks or anything, I really enjoy what I do, and through that enjoyment, I find my motivation. Because what kicks me out of my bed is because I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, and that really aligns with what you were saying. If you really enjoy and love what you're doing, you wouldn't have to look at competition or anything like that. My question was, how do I sometimes how do I see the bigger picture? Like you said about reviewing whatever my goals and my alignments were. How do I help myself see the bigger picture throughout whatever I'm doing? Does that strike as a question?
Yeah. In fact, it's very good. I have 2 points over here for you, Abhishek. That is, one is when you said you are loving what you're doing, it's too good. It's amazing. All right. This is very good for your nourishment, for your inner well-being. I totally support with that. Now I must also look at your. Hello.
It's back.
Are you able to hear me?
It's okay. I muted her. Okay.
Oh, okay. So firstly, I repeat that, you said that you're enjoying what you're studying. I'm so happy about that because that nourishes your inner well-being. Your inner environment is set very well. But you need to see that it's not just that it is inner environment is set well and that's all. There is a world around you that you interact with. Don't look at it as competition. But don't step out from winning awards. Please keep that as one of your perspectives. Because I would like to say that someone who enjoys his studies so much should actually be ready to get more awards than others. This is an important aspect. Generally, I find that when someone loves their work, when we are nurturing, shall I say, entrepreneurs, we say that if you love what you have done over here, then you're not serving many people. This is an important aspect, that it must reach as many as possible. Now, the second part of the question, how do you gain an overview? Always ask yourself, if I was a global head, how would I see this applicable for more people? I'll take an example over here. There was an organization, I'm talking of ramping up, means, increasing the number of employees in an organization. This organization had a 10 by 20 room as canteen. But in 6 months' time, they went up from 20 people to 600 people. 600 people. Everyone had to have their lunch. So that is where I saw this overview business and managing time and resource very well. That's why I'm giving that example to you. They charted out, and today it is a habit in many organizations, not today as in today, but about 10 years ago. It is a standard understanding in organizations. They gave different lunch timings for different departments, and that kept on rotation. So they used to find that in 10 minutes, any batch of them would come, eat and go. Their tea, their snacks that were served by the organization would be timed accordingly. Everyone reached their goals effortlessly without moving out of that place, which they could not. The resource was very valuable for them. So getting the overview is, it could be that how can this much be crunched into this little space? So what do I regulate? What do I see can be expanded? How do I see that my end customer, if supposing I look at it from that perspective, my end clients, how are they gaining from this learning of mine? Now I give you relevant examples. I find out, no, you're a student or earning or what was it, These are some things we look at aspects. So these are ways of enhancing your perception. And my friend, this is an important way that the frontal brain, all right, which is, enhancing perspectives works. And that is what I was asking you to nourish. Very good question. I hope you got the answer. And great. And Ashwati, it's okay. You don't have to apologize, dear. Your mic was on. It does happen. Any other question?
I think no.
Okay, good. So we can bring this part of the program to a closure. We can do enhanced programs of this. We can do many more programs. Thank you, Girija Peter and Rahima. Really proud to have you all with us. Thank you, Sue, for coming and joining us and putting you in a spot, and you really helped us clear the mind also.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, I welcome Girija, ma'am.
Thank you, Rahima, ma'am. Thank you so much, Sujata, ma'am, and Suresh, sir. It was a wonderful session, and it was so informative too. Means not only the live session, I'm saying they can watch the Facebook live too. Those who are watching that live, they can set their mind to the goal. As it through this, their mind. This your speech also was that much cool. Calm.
Yes.
I felt like that. The meditating people under speaking. That it was like that. It's like it was like a meditation actually. That tune and the style of the voice modulation, I like very much. Okay, so am I correct, Abhishek ji?
Yes, I really enjoyed the way she spoke. She spoke in a very whenever she spoke,
Yes.
yeah, it felt a bit of warmth in my heart. Like you spoke in a very loving manner, and that's what we really need.
Yes.
I really enjoyed how you spoke, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
It means the
ma'am,
world
I
to
love
me.
it.
Even sir
Thank
also,
you,
sir
Hannah.
also, with that much patience, he spoke with us. It was nice. Thank you so much, Suresh sir, and also guided here to them also, the participants. Thank you so much to all.
I know the really asking is so nice. I really like that. And please keep in touch in whichever way possible. Thank you all, and wishing you a wonderful 2022. May we all grow together, achieving the best with each other. Bye-bye.
Yes, thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you so much,
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
Thank you everyone for
Thank you all.
participating.
Thank you all.